Hi everyone, welcome to the Sunday Social. Hope everyone's okay. I know we're broadcasting right at the time of England being in the Euro semi-finals, so I'm not expecting any of our British viewers to join, or if they are join, because I haven't seen it live, but I'm sure it's going to go into injury time and then then probably a penalty shootout. So
Sam had to call on his one American friend.
yes.
Yep, I'm here. I'm not watching any of that.
yeah. So anyway, well, Todd, you might as well go first with the watch check because it's just the two of us.
Yep. I forgot to look it up because I forget which one this is. This is one I got from you, Sam. I'm wearing the Phoebus.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember which model this is. It is so much better in person than the renders on the website. My light, because when I saw this dial on the website, I'm like, oh, it's so aggressive, but on the wrist, it's so subtle, and I love it. Thank you, Sam. I love this watch. It's definitely a win.
Happy to for it's the least I could do for all the help that you give me. But I think it's called the Argo, and the thing is, they named it after some they made a convoluted story about it being some like Greek mythology, and I didn't even. I think I said in the review, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this Greek. The thing about the Greek, because it's not like it's got the the boat or I think Argo was a boat. It's not got the boat on the back or anything. They just kind of. I think now that a lot of these brands they're really fishing for kind of some kind of meaning behind why they name their watches, aren't they? And sometimes it's quite funny, but
but the Phoebus
do a great
they
job.
do a great job. The watches, the fit and finish is nice. It lines up, unlike Seiko. The bracelet is well made, and they have and this isn't to like pitch but even they have such a good fan base. You don't lose money, reselling them if you want.
Yeah.
And the details in this one are so nice. I'm like, this is a really fun watch.
Yeah, I did some super macros on the review, and I used this lens, which I think is like a 4 times. What do they call it? 4 times real life or 4 times macro.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see, if anybody watches the review, you'll just see how intricate the dial is at that level, at that super zoomed in level. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that. Well, speaking of small independent brands that are awesome, I'm very glad to be wearing, and I love it, a Jack Mason, the new Jack Mason Magnolia Strato timer. I've become quite good friends with Peter at Jack Mason. Such a nice guy. And he'd sent me that Strato timer, that espresso. And then this time he's like, oh, would you review the other ones in the channel? And I'm like, send them over. And he's like, you can keep one if you want, for the help. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. And then as soon as they come and I saw this green one, I messaged him. I'm like, oh, can I please keep the green one? And he's like, yeah. So, because
it's good looking.
I mean, yeah, it's got the Emperor, the
Go back to
silver
full screen.
and black. Yeah, let's go full screen.
Yeah, show some full screen.
We've got a lot of time to fill on this one.
Yeah.
So this is the Emperor. That on the website looks like it's white with black, but actually it's a silvery, like a sandblast silvery color. Ceramic, omnidirectional, omnidirectional bezel, ceramic, and then it's got black hands, black coated hands, and indices. So it gives it a really distinctive look. He's increased the size of the crown, and then there's loom in the bezel. The other ones had sapphire inlay in the bezel, but these are single colored.
The case profile is really nice on it too when you're holding it up there.
And then this is look at this, so well balanced. This is the tuxedo. I just want to say tuxedo cat. It's the tuxedo dial. So black on black with the silver hands, and then we've got the bezel, unidirectional bezel, and then their amazing 7-link bracelet with that macro adjust. So if you just you pull the side out, move it forward, clip it back in.
He is killing it. I really love seeing what those guys are doing over there.
Yeah,
they're good looking watches.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is very legible. Also, the green's quite legible as well. Brassic time. Yeah, I like this one. It's using that Miyota 9075 movement. That I think Jack Mason was one of the first to get hold of it, but now it was in that Zelos that I reviewed and stuff. So yeah, I'll be doing a review of that coming soon, and then also the Citizen. I need to do the Citizen Geo Tracker. I finished that off, but I need to actually put the review together. So that'll be a. I'm sorry, Todd. I made myself solo there.
It's okay. It's your channel. I'm just here to hang out.
Well, guys, also we were expecting more people, but obviously there's a lot going on in the world and a lot going on football wise. So if you've got any questions, keep them coming, whether it's about this topic or anything else. We'll keep the discussion lively. Well, because we did the thumbnail, we better talk about this. So earlier in the week, I received an email from Hodinkee. I think it's, what is it, Todd? Like one a day you get from them, 2 a day?
At least 2 a day. I often don't even read them. I just delete as they come in. I don't have time in my life for this.
So I'm reading through it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice, or beautiful panerai. And then at the bottom, after this shop now, there's this section called Picks for You. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, that looks familiar. These look really familiar, these watches.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the bottom, it's like edition for Hodinkee, edition for Hodinkee, edition. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that this was released last year. These were released. This was the Ed Sheeran one. I'm like, there's no way that these are they still have these. And yeah, sure as I won't swear, but sure as anything. If we go to the
sure as do.
Yeah, sure as do. If we go to the let's make sure I'm sharing the right thing. They're all available.
Right. Email overload is a thing.
Yeah, these are every single one of these is available. Absolutely wild. Because if you remember, there was a time with Hodinkee where every single watch they sold, every single limited edition, within hours would sell out. But every one of these, including the Ben one, it says notify, that might be sold out, but the Ed Sheeran one, still readily available. What a fail. What an absolute fail. Well, but every single one of those watches, so that was at least 9 or 10 watches. All of them are still available. Whether they're new, whether that's what's the name, that other one that we were looking at, the Mido, that's been out for like a year now. So what do we think's going on, Todd? What do we think?
For starters, as we've said right away, the cash grab pricing is off the chart. It's just simply too high. It's sort of a conversation I have with. I help people. So like at my gym, I help the owner put out t-shirts, and the t-shirts cost production, for instance, is $9. And he immediately wants to charge like $25 for them. And I'm like, here's the thing. The people getting your t-shirt, there's this free walk-in billboards for you. If you make a couple of dollars, it's a win. It didn't cost you anything. And the people walking around wearing your brand, that's what you really want. Well, you're not going to get rich on $10 a shirt, but having walking billboards everywhere, that's where it's at. And I think that's sometimes where Hodinkee is missing the boat. Like, you're a brand. How much money do you need to make off of a Casio G-Shock that costs $70?
Yeah.
If you made 25 even, that would be a good day. Cost you nothing. And you're making $25. But that green one is like, what is it, 150?
It's 100. I think the online ceramics one. I actually the online ceramics one, $185.
And what is a G-Shock Square? I mean, is that the solar with the?
Yeah, I mean, they normally do. I mean, the special editions, they do knock them out between like 110 or 150. But
yeah,
a basic one with that module, $50 all day on Amazon.
I think I paid $100 for the one that has the radio and solar, like the full deal. So to go $195 for the basic one is like, are you insane?
It's wild. I mean, this this was this is what set me off, was this Porsche design one.
Oh,
So we'll get
yeah.
to that. We'll get to that lately. But you made such a good point with the t-shirts, didn't you? And this is
Yeah.
where Hodinkee missing. It's like, well, yeah, selling 3 t-shirts at $10 profit is better than selling 1 t-shirt at $20 profit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand. They've clearly lost their edge here, because I mean, this Porsche design one, I know everybody. It was funny because we were having a bit of a group chat about this one. Everyone's like, "Oh, I love the way this looks," and I'm like, "Yeah," because it's exactly the same as they've re-released this watch like 5 times. It's gorgeous. It's the one from Tom
Cool
Cruise
watch.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
But it's exactly the same. And all Hodinkee have done is just add this tiny little H. At least I think that's all they've done. Add this little H above the 6. Even
That's
I
it.
think this must be the original one. It's wild. And then they want what, like 10, nearly 10 grand for it with the tax. I'm not sure
What's
how
that
much.
watch? Yeah, what's that watch cost without the H?
Well, let's do some guerrilla price marketing, because what you want is that original. What you want is that original one.
Yeah.
The
So
if
what?
you can get that, the
While you're
actual.
looking that up, Jurassic Time makes a good point that at $50, Casio is still making a profit on the watch. Exactly right.
Yeah,
come on. And then Orange Hand says, as of this morning, you could add 10 of the Porsche design to your cart.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's
so
wild. I mean, the Porsche design, even on Porsche Design's website, are pretty pricey. I mean, this one's like at 11,000, but I think this one's got ceramic.
Yeah, Jurassic Time saying it's 10 grand. So I don't know. That is. Is that the one too that you had to buy? I can't remember. There was one that you had to buy a certain Porsche to be able to even get the watch. Or is that a different one? Did I lose you, Sam? You seem frozen, or am I frozen?
Hi everyone. Sorry, my power just went out. I don't know if hopefully I'm still live. Sorry everyone. Hopefully I'm still live. Yeah, my power just went out. We just had a lightning strike outside. So can everybody let me know if you can hear me? Everyone, hopefully you can hear me. Oh. Yeah, I'm back. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you could hear it. We just had a lightning strike outside. Yeah, awesome. I'll let Todd back in just for a second there. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't get shut down by Hodinkee. It was actually a lightning strike outside. I live in Florida, so the weather can get quite lively at times. So let's get all of the shares back up. Wait for Todd to come back. Thanks for staying in there, everyone. Let me just get the shares back up that we were looking at. Now Todd's gone. He'll come back. I've messaged him. It was good that usually the internet goes out for a while, so it was good that the internet came back on. But yeah, there we go. Let me just remove Todd for a second. Yeah, I don't think you guys can hear this, but it's the weather outside is.
You see me?
Weather. I know it was like the Hodinkee, the gods Hodinkee. Zeus came down with its lightning, but yeah, we had a lightning strike.
Well, I can't see you. I'm going to keep talking until we get some kind of a live picture.
Oh, I can see you though.
I'm looking at a black screen. Okay, there's Sam.
This is the kind of
what's going on.
This is the kind of high class entertainment that we get.
I can't hear. I don't know what is. So okay.
I think everybody can hear me.
This is comical.
This is comical. So I can hear you, Todd, for sure. Can everyone else hear Todd?
I think I'm getting close.
Okay.
I can't hear you yet, Sam.
Okay. I think everyone can hear me.
But I see my picture. I see me. Okay.
Okay, so
Everybody can
Bill,
hear me, but
look,
I can't hear anybody else. Let's see.
yeah, we could see and hear you both. Cheers,
Check
Bill.
my audio settings.
Oh, and Bill, thanks for the other when we did that 5-hour show. I think Bill, you stuck with us the whole time. Thank you for that. Okay,
right, we're gonna go.
This is the type of high-class entertainment that we offer here at Casual Watch Views.
This is turning into a comedy of errors over here. Thanks. I'm going to leave the studio. I'll be right back. Sam, hang in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's see if let's just say hello to everyone while we're waiting on Todd. Oh, actually, yeah. So Orange Hand says, as of this morning, you could add 10 of the Porsche design watches. Absolutely wild. $96,000 worth of Porsche watches. Oh yeah, I think Todd read some of these out, didn't we? Sam is frozen. England must have scored. I wonder what the game is actually. I know I won't look. I'll wait to be. You know, you don't want to see me a little tear come down. Let's just see how everybody else is. Yeah, Todd will just rejoin for a second. I feel like I need a rap or something or a song to keep us going. What's everyone else wearing while Todd comes back on? Just see if Todd's coming back on. We're okay. Hang on in there. We'll be back. We'll be back soon. Or Todd will be back soon, hopefully. Oh yeah, just said everything died. Yeah. Let's have a look, James Blonde. So you're right. So I think you're talking about the Porsche design, aren't you? So let's have a look on Chrono 24 and see if that's right. Oh, we have got some crazy weather outside. So if I lose power again, I apologize, everyone. Must be right over the top of us. Okay. So this is the Hodinkee one. So let's have a look on Chrono 24. What they're looking like. Okay, so we got a stainless steel version 2500. Oh, there's that one. There's that one that was 11 grand on their site. It's going for 6. Looks new. Porsche design 10,000. Oh, so that's more expensive than the Hodinkee one. Porsche design Chrono 1 1974. Just shy of 3 grand. That looks oh, that's pretty bashed up though, isn't it? I don't know if you can get a watch re-DLC. Does anybody know that if you can get a watch DLC coated? Oh, Bill says actually that you can get the ones. Yeah, James wearing a Unimatic. I like the Unimatic watches, but you know I'm really funny about a watch that has the date on it, and they don't. One of the chronographs has the date on it, but I don't think there's not many that have the date on it. So yeah, so we've got this one. This one's pretty bashed up though, isn't it? Light signs of wear or scratches. I think that's a little bit of an understatement. And also, the Dan Henry doesn't Dan Henry do it? I know I'm not like in love with the homages on this, but I think Dan Henry does a pretty good version of it. Oh, there we go. There's the Dan Henry one. Yeah, a cheeky little homage of it. Actually, he does one in stainless steel as well. 350. You used to hear loads of people talking about Dan Henry, didn't you? But you hardly ever hear anyone. The new IWC Porsche would have been better. Yeah, you never hear. You used to hear everybody talking about Dan Henry. You used to hear everybody talk about Dan Henry, didn't you? And then Todd, can you hear? What? Oh, hey.
Okay, sorry everybody. Yikes!
Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay,
yeah.
So what we were doing is I was talking about the Dan Henry homage of it. And then we were also looking at like a vintage Porsche design. So we found this one for an original one from 74 for less than 3 grand. And then we were joking about, or at least I was joking to myself, that it says light signs of scratch, wear or scratches. This thing. Uh,
Well, everybody's definition is different based on age.
that's true. That's true. Well, there you go. $177 for a quartz one. Well, that's not bad, is it? I wonder if it's still unworking. Fair, obvious sign of watches, but it doesn't say. I wonder if it's working. Quartz
Well,
movement
what's the module?
mechanism does not work.
Oh, so you got to replace that.
Yeah. So,
There's one for $1,100.
oh, did you see that? What?
Yeah,
Oh,
right
here.
down there. Right. Yeah.
Watch design. Okay, so that's got a nice age look.
Yeah.
Vintage Porsche design chronograph, working well and keeping good time.
And what is?
1990.
Yeah. There you go.
Automatic movement 7750. That's a good deal, isn't it? It doesn't
Yes,
have
it
the
is. Sam's about to make a purchase on the show.
I know. No. I do like it. I do like it, but
Yeah.
I think that Hodinkee Hodinkee. So, okay. So what do we think's going on with Hodinkee? Is it that they just keep doubling down each time, like they're kind of chasing the high, they're trying to get another hit, or is it that they don't really need to, they don't they well, the three options I guess would be that they keep trying to chase a high that's not coming, or they essentially ordered too many and they can't shift them, or they just perhaps want watches in a collection that don't sell out. They just want, but that was always the third one. I could sort of see the third one, but also I remember their justification a lot was back in the day when stuff used to sell out. They say, "Oh, we had to do a bulk order, and to get it to a certain price, we have to commit to spending all this money, so we have to turn them around fast." So I'm not sure. What do you think, Todd?
Well,
And what does the audience think?
I mean, it's not. I don't know that it's necessarily. I think they have lost sight of the fact that what drives them and drove them is the watch collector market. We are a bunch of unique. We're not like the normies who go to like the department store to get, I need a watch and I'm going to have that watch for the next 25 years. So we're not normal. And that was their market. And the problem was that market is also listening to all of the influencers and all of the reviewers and everybody who's now been saying like Hodinkee is lost sight, they're overpriced, they're in trouble, they're in bankruptcy. And so their niche market is going, I'm not into this right now. I'm going to wait and see what happens, I think, and they're still going, we're Hodinkee. And so if we put our name on it, it's going to be worth a bunch of money. And they haven't come to grips with where the reality is right now.
Yeah, I think that's right. Thelonious Monk is saying the collab and collectible market is down.
Yeah.
People are tired of useless collabs that come with a premium.
Absolutely.
Does anybody know if any other market is seeing this other than watches? Because doesn't the knife collecting community have a lot of limited editions and stuff? And I know there's the sneaker collectors. There's limited editions of those, isn't there? And
I don't know. There are several. I guess like watches. There's a couple of tiers in the knife collecting community as well, where there are guys who will hunt down a super. Like I know a guy who will hunt down a super high end guy, and because there'll only be like 50 made. The difference is the numbers. If these are handmade tools by a guy, there's not going to be literally thousands of them. It's very small numbers that they're going to flip, and then you get sort of in that mid-tier market where people who collect knives, like when I collect knives, I'm looking at them in a more practical, like I want a knife that I have a large knife collection, but like I don't spend a lot on a knife. $100 or less is where I'm at with a knife because it's like, it's a tool that it dulls. I got to take care of it, and it gets gummed up and there's a lot of maintenance with it. So like I use my knives. I carry a knife every single day. I'm not a guy who buys knives and puts them in a display case. So there's a different level there, except for I do love like case knives, and case knives are another one that like, they're kind of like, not like Rolex per se, but they do hold their value. And even in the cheap ones, when you resell them, they're still worth money.
What's a case knife?
So
very
Case
well.
Knives, so I think they're based out of Bradford, Pennsylvania.
Oh, so it's a
Like
make. It's not like a style of what. It's a
no, it's a
brand of
brand. It's a
knife.
brand.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've been around forever and ever. I don't remember the origin story, but even their the way they stamp the blade, like they all have a different. You can tell what year it was made and everything based on just how the brand is stamped on the blade. So they have this wonderful collector community that is very popular. But last I've seen, the prices are still holding. Guys who collect knives, but I think some of the comments here in the comment section say something about other things, like which I agree. Um, thought I meant knife to open a watch case. No,
Yeah, I thought you meant that originally.
I don't know that if I have one on my desk right at the moment. They're really beautifully made knives.
Yeah.
It's like an old traditional American brand. I would highly recommend you look at Case Knives. They're wonderful pocket knives, like a gentleman's knife. They're not these
They
crazy ones
do.
that you snap out and you want to stab somebody with. These are like the ones you tinker with and you do whittling with and things like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you whittle a stick down with it just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to put the paid may contain paid promotion for the Jack
That's right.
Mason, but also maybe now the knife, the case.
That's right.
If you want, if Todd and if anyone from Case Knives is watching, Todd
Yep.
will be your official spokesperson on the Casual
Big
Watch
fan.
Review channel.
That's right. Yeah, big
Yes,
fan.
so it looks like Theophilus Monk is also. So James Blonde said cars are falling,
Yeah.
cars, um, cards as well. So trading cards seem to be going down because everything was going wild, wasn't it? For a second there,
Yeah.
there was a great YouTube I watched the other day on a guy who has graded comic books, and he went through what their value was last year versus this year, and he had like $100,000 worth of comics. I mean, like, we're talking like Superman issue 2
Right.
at like a 6.3, or like real, and some of them had taken an absolute bath as well. So
I think
I do believe that.
I think collectibles across the board had that COVID swing.
Mm.
We're in the watch world, but I think everybody who's home with nothing to do, getting those government those free government dollars, and like I'm not going anywhere. Let me spend it on my thing that I love. I think collectibles across the board spiked 2020, 2021.
Yeah, well, I just noticed this. $165 for a Hodinkee City tote bag. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
No, they're I don't know. They have lost sight. And again, that's what I mean. There's their brand. What are you doing?
Yeah. So
Because
they're
even
on
aren't their
volume.
magazines cost a fortune?
Yeah, they're $38 for the magazine. I got one they sent one for free when I bought a watch once, but watches a guide by Hodinkee, $105. Their little pocket knife, 22, I suppose isn't too bad. Yeah, there's that
No,
brawn.
but that's like the $15 Swiss Army knife. See, that's what I mean. That's like your basic Kmart knife. Kmart. They're not even around anymore.
Well, and I mean, maybe that was a fitting example.
Right.
Yeah, there's that Unimatic with the date 2,900, but it does have the forged carbon. That seems readily available. Well, I remember, God, I mean, and it wasn't even that long ago, was it? But this was even pre-pandemic, where Hodinkee could put their name on anything, couldn't they? And
Yeah.
it was just, oh, look, there's that grey Divers 65. I wonder if this is pre-owned. Oh no, that's
I
the
thought
recent one, isn't it?
thought
Wow,
you were
I
excited
remember
about
the
the
first
beanie.
one they did. Yeah.
How much is the Hodinkee beanie? Because as a ball guy, a hat's very
Oh,
important.
let's have a look.
Yeah. I was very excited. Let's see how much I could cover my head in Hodinkee headwear there. Go right
Where
there.
where was it? Where
You
was
keep
it?
going past it. Wait, slow down. Go down, go down, go down.
Oh, yeah, maybe get
Other
like a
direction.
nice scarf.
Other direction. Keep going.
Oh,
Right
there
there.
we go.
There we go. What
$95.
$95 for a $15 hat.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Have you seen this here? No
Is it
way.
the
There's not one of them available, is there? No, it can't
travel
be.
clock?
No, sold out. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
sold out.
Wow. Yeah, it's cool. I was thinking that would have been quite the eye opener if that was available. I should have
Yeah.
sworn that. I have to dig that out afterwards. 50 Fathoms edition. Yeah, the Hodinkee limited edition Type 1 Slim. Oh, that's. I wonder if these must be. I mean, we must be getting to the end now. There, that's sold out, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
wild. And then yeah, this is the one that set it off. But what are they going to do? I mean, if they must. If they're holding the inventory for all of those watches, then they're sat on a lot of, unless they're keeping them at Crown and Caliber, but they're sat on a lot, especially those limited edition. They're just the one they just released, this one, the Carl F. Booker, $7,500 a piece.
Yeah, I'm very curious what volume they have or they bought these in.
Yeah.
What are they sitting on? Because
Yeah,
the
so brassic
speculation
time.
was they were sitting on a bunch of watches like Rolexes they bought during the peak, probably at a premium, and now they're going to lose money on them.
Yeah.
That was the other conversation that they're just in trouble on all fronts.
Yeah. The
Here we
magazines
go.
are good, actually.
Yeah, they're good looking. Brassic Time's got to go in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. People don't even say FOMO anymore.
Yeah.
So you're right on point, Brassic Time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think we did Hodinkee to death now, because I think I've gone through the stage of, they say that about friendships and stuff, don't they? If you when you get to apathy, there's no coming back. Like, you can be
Yeah,
annoyed at somebody for a while. Usually, if you're bothered enough to be annoyed, there's still a relationship that can be
right.
repaired, or at least you're thinking about that person. But now Hodinkee, other than occasionally knocking on it just to see if there's any stories appropriate for this live stream, I can't think of any other, time that I go on there. I wonder how their podcast is doing,
Well,
because,
I
as
couldn't
Ricky and
listen to it
Dave goes
after a
from
while.
strength to strength.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to it after a while because it was just like that, and a couple of the other sort of older, more staid and proper watch podcasts. I don't know who said it, but they nailed it. It said they sound like they're like Christian youth ministers talking.
Oh, like evangelizing.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, oh yeah, this is the wonderful thing about the new watch brand. Like it's like you're watching golf or something. I think
Yeah,
that's
so
why the more bombastic people like Ricky and
they must have stopped
Nico
this,
kind of stick
mustn't
out.
they?
What's that?
I thought they still had an active one. January 2024, Ben
Ooh,
Kleiman presents episode 9. So that's a while ago, isn't it? So maybe they
yeah.
have stopped it. I'm sure they referenced it the other day, maybe they're just going back and referencing stories to it. But I thought they'd stopped the grey NATO, but I also thought that they had, there was a picture or something that they were referring back to one of the podcasts. But anyway,
Yeah. I think they
okay,
just got too full of themselves. Okay, so Watchdog Podcast says Hodinkee Radio is still active.
okay. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because it doesn't show, unless I'm where am I missing it then, if it is still active? So we've got What's New, Stories, Hodinkee Radio, and then the last episode, March the 23rd,
Okay.
November. So are they doing it sporadic, Watchdog podcast?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if they're doing it, they do it sporadic or not. The Grey NATO, so Brassic Time says the Grey NATO is still going. Okay, well, let's have a look at that one then. The Grey NATO. April the 8th, 2020. Maybe they're not in order then. Maybe it's reverse order. No? Hmm. Let's have a look.
Watchdog
Spotify.
says they did one this week.
Hodinkee podcast. Oh, yeah. 10th of July. 3rd of July.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's weird
All
then,
right.
isn't it? That they're not pumping that on the website very well. Maybe they just stopped updating the website.
Yeah, whoever that guy is, he's not working there anymore. The guy who was
Oh
updating
yeah, the
those
guy who
pages.
updates the website. He was cut for excess, cut for cost savings.
Yeah. I like this comment from Von Krul. It
Yeah, no
does seem
packaging
more
does.
special. It's true, but
Yeah.
at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the loansome says most of what they talk about is way out of my price point, and they don't have the same kind of
Oh,
knowledge as Tim Masso. I'm
yeah.
actually learning when I watched him. Yeah, that
Well,
is an
yeah.
interesting thing. Oh, there's Bobby Legs. Hey, Bobby, if you want to, I know you. This is your kids time, but if you want to hop on, let me know, mate. The link is in the chat. Is in. I'll send you a link in the chat. Yeah.
Brett
Hodinkee
was
website manager
riffing.
is busy making tote bags.
Yeah, they got him working in the basement. he's
Yeah, yeah,
furiously,
absolutely.
he's furiously stitching away.
Well, I mean, 106. When I used to do the podcast, we didn't make a lot of it at all. So maybe maybe there is a case for making the tote bags are more profitable instead. So, was there anything else that we saw this week? Let's have a look on a blog to watch that we should talk about. Any big watch releases that came out? Let's have a look. Yeah, this was did you see this marathon collab with Jeep? I thought that's quite it looks
That's
quite
actually
cool, but I don't like the Fotina.
no, the Fotina's off, but you know what? That's like a kickback to kind of like the LL Bean collabs. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a premium on that. Like, what are they charging for that?
Well, do you know what? It actually went on sale because Nomon watches had this on sale for you could get the quart. I mean, they have the quartz ones used to be like I'm sure $750 at most, but oh yeah, 1,500, 300 less for the quartz. So yeah, but no one watches had this on sale, and I think Long Island Watches, I think he had them on sale as well.
Like that thing, I don't know
Mark
why it
had
just
them on
strikes me as
sale.
it has a very 80s vibe to it, which I love. It's kind of cool.
I like that as well.
Yeah. There's
I'm
just
sure this
something.
has some significance to it, the 15-minute thing, but and they've had to sort of put the Fotina on it because the ordinary watches use tritium tubes, don't they? Which they'll
Yeah.
degrade, but they'll never discolor. So I like that one. Let's see if there's anything else that we missed. Oh yeah, okay. So
Oh yeah.
there's some great Christopher Wards. I can't say too much, but there's some great Christopher Wards coming out this year. But this was the first of the reissue of their super compressor. So I if
They
anybody
went
doesn't
big
know
too.
this, yeah, if
Yeah.
anybody doesn't know the story of this super compressor, what they did is they bought essentially Christopher Ward wanted to recreate a super compressor case. Now, compressor is one of those things that's used ubiquitous in the watch world, isn't it? And most people
Yeah.
just put double crowns on it with an inner rotating bezel and they say it's a compressor, but that's not actually the definition of a compressor. The compressor is usually that under pressure. I think the layman's definition is if under pressure, the case gets more secure because it was in a
Correct.
time where, or it gets more water resistant because in a
Yeah.
time before tight tolerances and advancements in rubber seals, the compressor had a spring in it, so it would actually push against as the pressure went, push against the back of the case. There's the Vostok had a sort of a similar one. There's a guy who makes a watch called Sherpa, and he claims that he makes the only true super compressor. And then also, my wife just texted me that England, the England lost. But anyway, the sorry if anybody was sorry if that was news. And the but a Christopher Ward claim that they make it, but Christopher Ward designers actually bought a vintage. I think it was an Eterna or something. They bought an actual super compressor and reverse engineered it, and they released it. What was it? 3 years ago? 4 years?
Yeah,
4
something like
years
that.
ago?
I'll tell you,
And
I actually have I have a vintage one from the 1960s made by Jacques Dro, that's at my watchmaker, and he's had it for a long time because it's a proper compressor, and the problem is the crystal on it was plastic. It's scratched so bad. It was from my uncle. He was a deep sea diver. He said
oh wow,
he's done multiple 200-foot dives with it, and it worked forever till he didn't really take care of it, and it needed some maintenance. So I have it at my guy, and the problem he's having is he can't replace the crystal because those old crystals have like a flange,
Yeah.
and the new crystals don't have that. And he's like, I don't know how to replace it. And I'm like, well, maybe we can just polish it, because I'm not going to actually deep sea dive with it. I just want to be able to read the time on it, and get it back and running. But it's awesome.
Because the plastic would flex, wouldn't it? The plastic would
Yeah.
flex and it would push
Yeah.
against it, and then the back had a spring in it. And
Yep.
yeah, Von Krull saying that Mike France said that they did. They bought one at auction. They bought a super compressor at
Yep.
auction and then spent a long time. Now, I
Re-engineering.
suspect that that first super compressor didn't do as. I think it's along with my Elite 1000, which I think never got enough exposure from Christopher Ward. I think the first compressor, they had a color that was brown that they
Yeah.
dropped like unusually soon. And Brassic Time said, yeah, the super compressor has no date. This is the first thing that I said to Christopher Ward when I saw that they sent me this press release. And the first thing I said to Mike Pearson and Christopher Ward was like, this would look awesome with a date. If they put a day date at 6 o'clock on that, this would be
Oh,
epic, this watch.
it's
B
the old one is a great looking watch. Friend of mine bought one. I saw it in person. I think Mark he loves the brown one.
He has the rare brown one, the color that they dropped. I think it was called like desert sand or something. It wasn't called
Yeah, that
brown.
sounds right. But they're just like the colors were a little not mainstream enough, I think.
Yeah.
But this one is gorgeous, and on the rubber strap that they have, the Tropic strap for this one is awesome. It's like a
Yeah.
two-tone Tropic strap that I think is beautiful. I mean, it made me the whole watch just changed its personality right
Yeah,
there.
this
Oh,
the
man, that
turquoise.
is great looking.
Yeah.
And the thickness of it, I really would like to see that in person.
There's the original, isn't it? The OG one
Yeah.
that they did with the blue. And then this has got is it it's a I don't know. Somebody knows better than me, but I think it's a decompression scale, isn't it?
I'll tell you the one thing
Decompression
that's funny
scale.
is, like, my son also collects watches, and he likes the original one. He saw this and he's like, I think if I wore it, I feel like I'd be a poser diver. He's like, it's
Oh, like
so
a cosplay
he's like
diver.
he's like, it's so legit that I would be uncomfortable wearing it.
Yeah, I think I know I'm funny about having the date on watches, but I think this would look excellent. If there was a 6 o'clock, a day date like the Zin has on it, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it might interfere with the decompression scale on there, but so what? I think that would be absolutely awesome with a date on
Yeah.
it. And I'll tell Mike France that next time I see him. I told Mike Pearson already. But yeah, I hopefully this gets the visibility that it needs,
Yeah.
because it really was a good watch. And this is so there's quite a lot, isn't there? Mido went down this direction, didn't they? A couple of others have gone down this I think Walbrook, they've just done a decompression scale on one of their watches. I think this might be a new trend of the last couple of years, putting the decompression scale back on the dial.
I'm with I'm with James here.
Oh, it would look awesome with the day date. The Elite 1000 has the day date on it. This would look awesome with the day date. Imagine this, a day date, color coded at 6
Oh,
o'clock position. I'm all over it.
yeah,
I'm
it's a
all over
cool
it.
watch. There's no doubt. I mean, I haven't like the case back. I don't even know they were saying something about a display, but it's not. I mean, you can kind of see it, but I know what they're doing
Uh,
with it, but it's not really a display case back.
yeah, let's see. Somebody said, yeah. So Space G says, I like wearing the Navitimer, but I'm afraid of heights. Um, you know, do you know what's funny is I don't think I'm afraid of heights. Like, I'm not bothered when I'm in a plane or anything like that. But when I'm on a tall building or something and I look over the edge, it does get me a little bit. Like, have you ever been to the Luxor in
No,
Vegas?
I haven't.
Right. So the Luxor in Vegas, if you see it online, it's a pyramid. So four-sided. God, four-sided
Yeah.
pyramid. Incidentally, it's got one of the most powerful lights that's ever been put on a building, the light that goes straight up into the clouds on top of it. But inside, the rooms are in the sides of the pyramid. So when you get it, and they're they're outdoor access rooms. So as you walk, you get the lift. The lifts actually go up sideways,
Weird.
diagonally. And
Okay.
when you get in the lift, as you're looking out, the 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 thing to stop you falling over that you look over, it's only like just waist height, and you can look over, and because you can look over it, but also it's diagonally downwards.
Oof. Yeah.
It is. Oh, it really gets me. And we stayed there for a week. Also, they pumped this vanilla smell in there to cover the smoke, which is it's horrible. It's
Oh,
like vanilla Glade or something that they constantly pump in there. But that really gets me. And I watched this. There's this cool travel guy on YouTube. I think I Walk with Tib or something. He's called, British guy. He stayed there and he put his camera over there. Even seeing it on YouTube, I was like, oh God. It just remembered I can't stay there again because of that. Because you're like, there's nothing, because it scoops in, you're like, oh.
yeah.
And we were only halfway up as well, and it's real.
That
Yeah,
makes me
really
want to.
dodgy.
Next time I go to Vegas, I want to just go check out the elevator.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Chris James, you don't need the date on a diver. Of course, you
It's
need the
true.
date on a diver. This is a this is 200-meter diver with well, I mean, it's not technically, it's just a dive style strata timer. But of course, you need the date. You are not diving with even if you are a diver, you are not diving every single day, are you? You still need the date on a is. I'll fight and well, I won't fight you, of
I'm
course. I
sorry.
mean,
I'm sorry, Chris, and everybody else.
a
He
war
will
of
die on
words.
this hill. You will never
I will
convince
die
me.
on this hill that a watch needs its one complication is it needs the date on it. But, maybe a chronograph, you could arguably sometimes they wedge them in, but I think that is the one complication that I think is an absolute must. I don't have it. Do I have a watch? No, I'm going to give it. I've got a watch that I'm giving to somebody that doesn't have the date on it, but which is the Veya Dirty Dozen watch. But all my other if they stay in my personal collection, all my watches have the date on it.
Bob Cruel is correct. If you could die without the date.
Exactly. What if you went diving on the wrong day? What's worse? I think the date actually. So when you're filling out stuff, or you look at. I mean, granted, when you're at work, you're on your laptop, which has the date at the top. But anywhere else, it's
Yeah.
just nice to be like, oh, it's the 14th. Is it the 14th? I think it is the 14th. Oh, it's yeah, it's. But yeah, I think the date is the most. I know it's a losing fight. You don't need the date. Well, Chris, you come on here and I'll send you the link. We'll fight it. We'll fight it out for the next 10 minutes.
I'm with Chris. It's one of my favorite things on a watch that doesn't have a date. When I've got it in my watch box and I just want to put it on to go out for dinner or something like that. It's so easy to just set the time and go. It's glorious.
Granted, it's a little bit. This is a Traveler GMT, so granted, the actual, you suffer for your art with this one because you have to scroll through all of the date wheel. That's the one thing with this Traveler GMT. You've got the beauty of it jumping from hour to hour very easy, but the date is not easy to set. But the Braemont I have, that's got a date. I mean, this Citizen watch has the date on it, and again, because it's got a solar panel, it's a little bit further behind than perhaps I would have liked. But I think, most other watches. I mean, I wore a Speedmaster for ages that didn't have the date, but you can forgive the Speedmaster of a lot of things. There, look at that. It's beautiful.
This one has this has a date on it, and I didn't even set it.
Boo. Every phone has the date. Yeah, every phone has the time. There you go.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's like if you're writing a check, I get it, but who writes checks anymore? What do you need? What is the date doing for you? I'm really just curious now. We're gonna dig into Sam
because I think I just like knowing that it's there. I think also the date is a good, especially being a watch reviewer, having the date on a watch is a good indication of how much thought they've put into the design, because getting a date right. So for example, I'm plugging Jack Mason like nobody's business here, but it's because I like them.
You're on the payroll
the date
now.
is very similar. The indice is almost the same when you look at it. I mean, you can tell there's a date, but it almost merges in. Christopher Ward is excellent as well at having
Yeah.
a date window, but the date is a good indication of how much thought they've put into designing the dial of the watch.
Okay.
That Braemont,
All
which I
right.
like, that's got a color-coded date wheel, but the color is slightly off, so that shows that it's a little bit lazy. But I think a lot of it's also a good indication of how much thought's gone into the design when they can nicely put a date in.
I don't like setting any of my Seikos that have the day date. Like if I have a day date like on a Rolex, okay, that's cool because it's like you said, it's thoughtfully put in there. I
Mm.
like that. I had a Hamilton that had that. It was really cool. I liked that. But like on the 3 o'clock, I don't need all that stuff on my watch. I don't mind the date, but I don't need the day too.
I need to find this. Hopefully, they've got it on their website. The best use of a date,
Here we go.
one of the best use of a date ever. Let me see if I can find it. If not, I'm gonna have to talk through it. But it really does need a photo. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. It
Treble's got a
might.
comment for you. You need the date just so you know if the chicken is off in the fridge.
Yeah, luckily we're yeah. That whole
That's
other
right.
story that
You're vegetarian.
yes. So I don't even need the date for that. Let's have a look. Artisans. So I'm thinking of an Artisans de Genève watch. Let's see if it's on their Instagram first. Hey, if anybody's on Instagram, please follow me, the casual watch reviewer. So Artisans de Genève did an amazing date on a watch, and I'm gonna scroll through it. I bet you I won't be able to find it now. It's not that one. They essentially let me just see if I can find it before I talk through it, because if I try and explain it, it's gonna make it sound lame as hell. But if I actually find it somewhere, you really need to see the picture of it. Did I say I think oh, that's it actually. Is it, but will it show it? Oh no, it won't show it. This is the thing they do. They do such like artistic photos that sometimes you can't see the what you're actually trying to find. Let me see if I can find it. Was
There are some
that it?
cool ones you've been scrolling by.
Oh yeah, this is the watch, but they're doing like a lame way of showing it. You can sort of see it here. Let me just see if if they stop showing off and we can actually get a view of the watch. If not, I'll have to talk through it if I can't find the actual thing. Let me see if for any reason that I can find it on there. Here we go. Let's see if it's Artisans de Genève. Let's see if I can find. Oh, my French. I'm not going to be able to find it. Essentially, what they did is they made a Rolex GMT skeleton watch with the date. And what they did, let me just see if I can find it here. This is so annoying. Is that it?
I want to see this
No.
watch Von Krull's talking about here.
Yeah. So essentially what they did is you could here it is. Here it is. You can't see it there, of course, but what they did is they made it's a skeleton Rolex GMT. Can I zoom into it? Let's see if I can zoom into it. No, I can't. But they did a transparent date disc on it, and then the white is behind the Cyclops.
Oh,
So
that's
when the
clever.
transparent disc goes across, you can see the date. It is genius the way that they did it. I mean,
That
who knows? It might get scratched up over time, but it was
that's clever.
that's the best use of a date, I think, on a watch.
Yeah, that's a clever idea.
Yeah. Let's see.
I want to see this. I have Von Krull's thing starred here. This Van Cleef and Arpels. What is this thing? Jumping our retrograde minutes.
Yeah.
Retrograde minute is such a cool complication.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So the Horizon Pilgrim. Let's have a look at that one. I think immediately of flipping. What's the name? Clint Eastwood Pilgrim. Oh yeah, here you go. Yeah, so theirs is incorporated into the see again, very clever. good watch design. Oh, shame about the hour hand, but that really good design. They've done it color coded to the. It's got the Fotina. They've incorporated
Where's
it
the
into the
date?
Fotina. It's
At the
there at
3
the
o'clock?
6. Yeah,
Oh,
3 o'clock.
okay.
Yeah, sorry, 3 o'clock.
Okay, that's very well hidden.
Yeah, and Ubik as well. I like the Ubik did a good one. I did review one of these. They did send me one, so keep that in mind. They did it. See, they did it at the 6 o'clock, and again used the similar
Yeah,
form
that's
of the
the indices.
indices.
Yeah, that's clever. See, I don't hate that. Good
Yeah,
price point too.
yeah. This is this. I'm sure it's using a Solita. I mean, at least the. Let's see if he still kept the Solita because I reviewed a pre-production one.
But I don't know. That would
No,
be the
Miyota
two.
9015. Okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a Miyota. It was a Miyota. I thought it was a Solita, but it wasn't. It was a Miyota actually, even in the one that I reviewed.
I'm still leery of any of the ones that are running a Solita 200 with that rotor issue. I've not heard that that's ever been resolved.
Yeah, I've never had it.
I
Yeah,
had it on one.
you not hear a lot of people talking about that anymore, do you? Do you think they have
I
solved it, or it's just that people don't talk
I
about it?
don't I don't know if people don't talk about it. I had it on one of my Christopher Wards, and it was just a bummer. Um, it seems like something that once everybody's aware that they should be able to fix it at the factory before they're putting them in watches.
Because it was weird, wasn't it? Because Solita is one of the most technically advanced, isn't it, of the
Yeah.
mass-produced
Oh, they're
movement
wonderful.
of
Like I love getting a GMT with a Solita 330. That movement is like butter. I mean, when you wind it, it almost doesn't even feel like anything's happening.
Yeah,
It's such a smooth
it's
movement.
yeah. So someone says the Helm Komodo has a lovely 6 dates. Let's have a look.
Helm has some cool watches too.
Helm, yeah. Is it them that make it? We apologize that our online shop will be closed from July the. Okay, let's just see if they got. What was it called? They said the Komodo.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so that's yeah. So it's got it at the bottom within the indice, and it's got. I wonder if that's a slight bit of loom around it as well. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's good looking. Von Cruel says the issue still exists, but you just, which I hate, but you have to avoid hand winding the watch. Just wind it enough to get it running and then set it. Oh,
What do you want
apparently
to
the
explain what the
ETA.
issue was?
There's something with the reverser in the rotor, and what'll happen is it just there's a point at which it won't um, work any longer. It won't wind.
Right. Okay.
The teeth break off the ratchet wheel, and so it just you're stuck with like it's sort of a dead watch. Even no matter,
So you have to hand wind it because the rotor just free spins, or you can't.
once that happens, it's just done. Like it needs to go and get repaired, and that's the thing that was like a little bit of like I get leery of them now because I'm like, and I love Christopher Ward watches, but they use them so frequently in most of their watches. I'm always like,
Yeah, I mean, I've
I
reviewed
wish they
loads
would
of
stop.
Christopher Ward, and I've owned. I think it's a. I don't know if it is a Solita 220 in mine or one of the. I mean, mine's a day date, and I've had a couple of watches with Solita in it, and I don't think I don't doubt that it's a thing, but I haven't experienced it myself. But yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. So you let the auto works wind it. It's the best thing for automatics in
true.
general, really. Oh,
Yeah.
instead of hand winding them.
Instead of hand winding it.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It was a. I was sad when it happened. I was like, and you can tell it's starting to happen because the rotor gets noisier.
Oh, is that? Oh, you can hear it like a.
Yeah, you
How
can.
would you know
Like
that
you're
with a
like,
Miyota?
and then when you start to wind it, the rotor spins as you're winding. Like you can't.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that online actually.
Just, yeah,
Yeah,
it won't. It's like it's not. It can't disengage or something.
yeah, I think I've seen that online.
It's
Awesome.
it.
Okay, well,
Yep.
is there
That's it.
anything else you wanted to go over, Todd? We're at the hour, but is there anything else you wanted to?
That I'm
Yeah.
good for the evening. I enjoyed it. It was a good
Well,
conversation.
yeah, thanks everyone for being so active in the comments.
Yeah.
Thanks for stepping in there when we had a few technical difficulties. I can still hear the thunder going now, actually, but we must have had a lightning strike pretty close because all the power
Oh, is
went
that
out.
what happened? Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, it was a lightning
Okay.
strike outside.
I
But
thought it was on my end, and I'm like over here, I'm rebooting my
no, no,
computer.
no, it was me. It was me first, and then
Okay.
yes, awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks Todd for joining, and we'll see you next time on
Sure.
Casual Watch Reviews.